One of the biggest drawbacks of living in Omaha, Nebraska is our property taxes. Each year during the month of January, the county assigns a new value to every parcel in the county for tax purposes. Now, the higher the valuation, the higher your property taxes. But what if you don't agree with the new valuation? How do you protest your tax valuation in Douglas County? Well, that's going to be the subject of today's video, and we're going to get started right now. What is the timeline for your property taxes? Assessed values are posted in January, approved in May, protested in June, appealed in August, invoiced in December, and due March 31st and July 31st the following year. By law, residential and commercial properties must be valued at actual market value. Market value is defined as the likely price a property would sell for in the current real estate market. In Nebraska, the goal is to have the assessment within 92 to 100% of market value. Nebraska has 93 counties. Two of those counties, Douglas and Sarpy County, pay their property taxes in arrears. That means we pay 2022 taxes in 2023. This is very confusing, especially if you're relocating to Omaha, Nebraska. Speaking of relocation, my name is David Matney with Nebraska Realty, and I'm a local realtor here in Omaha, Nebraska. I get calls, texts, and emails every day from people relocating to Omaha, Nebraska, and I absolutely love it. If you need any assistance, my contact information is in the description below. And if you like this content and you want to learn more about Omaha, be sure to subscribe to the channel and ring that bell for notifications. Now let's jump back into today's topic. This video is going to be an overview and will help point you in the right direction. You'll need to go online and research for more information. Let's look at a few online resources. The first website is going to be dcassessor.org. That's the Douglas County Assessor's website. The second website is the Douglas County Board of Equalization, and that is boardofelqualization.org. The third website is Nebraska Tax Equalization and Review Commission, turk.nebraska.gov. First, where can you find your tax valuation? You want to go to dcassessor.org. You want to click on Assessor, and then you want to click on Valuation and Lookup, and then you want to agree with that disclaimer. And when you get to this page, you would look up your name or your address. Just for fun, we're going to type in one of Omaha's more famous residents, Warren Buffett. This is all public information. Owner name, type in Buffett, and then hit Submit. At the bottom of the page, you want to double click on Warren Buffett. There's his parcel right there. And you're going to get the Douglas County, Nebraska property report. Now, as you can see, in 2023, Warren's property was valued at $1,003,500. And if you go to the top toward where it says Treasurer's Tax Report, let's see what Warren pays in taxes. Okay, the tax information for 2022, the taxable value, $1,003,500. His assessment didn't change. The tax levy is 2.24121, and that's a percentage. And the tax amount for 2022 is $21,420.92. Now, the first half is due March 31st. The second half is due by July 31st. And if you want to have a breakdown of where those taxes go to, click on Levy Info, and you can see there's a breakdown of all the government entities that are getting a portion of those taxes. And you can see that 54% of Warren's taxes go to the Omaha public school system. Let's take a quick look at the property report. And you can see on the right-hand side, you can scroll down, and it gives you information on the previous tax assessments. You can see how big the parcel is. It's 0.72 acres. There's a photo of the property. You can click to enlarge, and that gives the layout in terms of square footage of the property. And then you can also scroll down a little bit more. You can see the bedrooms, stories, bathrooms, the quality and the condition, what year it was built. And these are all add-ons to the property. And then you can see where it is located on the map. And just give you some idea, view a larger map, and there's where it's located. If you're not familiar with Omaha, This is the University of Nebraska Medical Center. This is Memorial Park, Elmwood Park, and he's on Farnham Street. This right here is Dodge Street. A little bit further west, you have University of Nebraska at Omaha, and Dodge Street separates North and South Omaha. Let's say Warren wanted to protest his 2023 tax valuation. What are the 4 critical areas to successfully win a tax valuation property protest? We're going to go back and look at the report, and the first way is going to be clerical. Is the assessor's online report factually accurate? And we're going to look at the report and look at the information. For example, as we scroll down, we're going to look at bedrooms and bathrooms. Okay, let's say on this report, it says that he has 5 bedrooms, but he really has 4. Well, that's clerical. He could submit that as a way to win his protest. And you want to look for discrepancies in your favor. The second way to win a tax property valuation protest is to look at the quality and condition. Are those accurate? Quality refers to the type of materials used in construction, and condition refers to age of materials and any improvements to the inside and exterior materials of the home. So on this report, if you look at quality and condition, they had quality was very good and condition was very good. Well, let's say Warren had an outdated bathroom and they have it down as very good. He could submit a photo of an outdated bathroom and say, hey, this is dated and it's not in very good condition. And that's a second way he could argue a valuation. The third way is going to be by equalization. Is your assessed value similar to the assessed value of your neighbors? Compare valuations of homes of similar size, style, and condition in your area. Now, you can research your neighbors on the DC Assessor website. And then at the top, go to Division Sales Search. Click on that. Okay, this page will bring up homes that have been sold in the past 3 years. The improved square footage is plus or minus 25%, and it's built in the same style. The fourth way is going to be fairness. Do recent sales of comparable homes support your assessed value? Ask your favorite real estate agent to provide you a list of recent sales. Now, keep this in mind. If you're submitting comparable properties, you can actually use data going back 3 years because the appraiser uses mass appraisal methods. Let's just say you had a refi appraisal and that assessment or that valuation is lower than your tax assessed value. That's a real easy win. You could submit that refi appraisal as data to support a lower valuation. Now, here's a few tips for helping you with your tax protest. Now, number 1 is going to be the size of the assessed value increase is not an argument for a lower value. Let's say your valuation went up $100,000. That doesn't necessarily merit a lower valuation. And here's another tip. They don't want to hear you rant about property taxes. There's a time and place for that. That's called the ballot box. You're dealing with an appraiser. They don't want to hear you rant about government spending or anything like that. If you're protesting in person, be polite and be courteous. You get more bees with honey than you do with vinegar, and you want to think like an appraiser, and you want to argue using data. Now, a few years back in 2017, we saw a giant increase in land valuations. That's real hard to argue a land valuation because there's such lack of data. So that's a real hard argument. Also, keep this in mind. Let's say you have a finished basement, but on the assessor's website, it shows it as an unfinished basement. You might want to rethink your protest because the assessor can visit your house. And if they see that you have a finished basement and it's showing that it's unfinished online, you may want to rethink or reconsider protesting. When do you protest? To file a real property valuation protest, you must submit a form to the Douglas County Board of Equalization between June 1st and June 30th. All protests must be signed and delivered, postmarked, and submitted online by June 30th. Licensed appraisers from the Board of Equalization will review all protests, so you have to think like an appraiser. If your protest is denied, you can appeal to the Tax Equalization and Review Commission. And keep this in mind too. You may not save as much as you think. Let's say your valuation online is $300,000. You win your protest and now it's valued at $275,000. You're only saving taxes on that $25,000 difference. So you may take that into account when you're submitting your valuation. And remember, if you win your protest, this protest is for the year 2024. It doesn't immediately lower your taxes. It's for next year's taxes.